Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star Part 197 based on novel. So let's start. Battlefield 7, 26th Camp, above the snow-capped peaks, a silver-armored and winged Luo Feng stood. He was discussing with the staff from the Virtual Universe Company. This scene was seen by two distant emperors. Look, the human Yang. It's him. All the other race warriors from the other camps in Yangji continent have all gone crazy searching for him. No one would expect him to be hiding here in the camp. The other race warriors would never be able to find him. Even if they knew he was here, they couldn't do anything. Do you think that Yang actually got the treasure from the sacrificial tower? I've been to the tower personally to check and there were battle scars about. It should be true. This Yang sure is lucky. Look, he's discussing with the staff from the Virtual Universe Company. He must have bought countless treasures. What's the point of being jealous? He got the treasure. What can you do about it? Right, I cannot do anything. Who would dare make a move on an ally? However, I dare say, if it weren't for the army system, there would probably be other humans making a move on him. The two other race emperors gazed at the mountain peak hundreds of kilometers away. With their vision, they could see every hair on Luo Feng's face even at such distance. They watched as they discussed. The news of Yang being in the 26th camp spread quickly, causing the many other race warriors on Yangji continent to curse. Coward. Weakling. Cowardly punk. This human is actually hiding in the camp, bastard. Let's go, leave Yangji continent. This human is so scared he's hiding in the camp. What can we do? Even knights cannot do anything, we are just wasting our time. Let's hurry back to Star Tower. There may be other treasures there. The many warriors began to grow disappointed. They had guessed before that the human Yang may leave after getting the treasure, however they never got accurate information, and didn't trust one another. After all, the chances of getting treasure in the outer region walls were extremely slim. Human. Purple Clock raged within a cave. Prudent and yet cowardly. However, you hiding in the camp will make the others see you as even weaker, and it confirms that you have the treasures. However, I do know. Your cowardice is all an act. Purple Clock had been extremely alert about Luo Feng. He had battled with him before, and throughout the treasure hunt in the tower, Luo Feng had remained low profile. Yet he never backed down in face of danger, knowing when not to hold back, knowing the right time to act, and vicious at the right moment. Human Yang, what are you waiting for? He muttered, waiting for the right chance to deal with me? If you want to make a move, hurry and do it. He had a feeling that the human Yang was simply waiting for the opportune moment. The two would eventually fight. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Within a specially crafted world ring. Vast grassland. Black-clothed Luo Feng sat cross-legged, his expression serious as he looked at the black briefcase. Fei Mo poison. He muttered. Within this case was the terrifying and expensive Fei Mo poison. He only had 10 billion left from the 560 billion. He had almost spent everything, and of which, the most expensive thing he bought with 300 billion mixed elements was this 1 kilogram of poison. Careful. Any leakage and my Mosha body will be destroyed. Luo Feng took a deep breath. He didn't even dare deal with it in his internal world. He was worried that any leak would cause the world to crumble. That would be an unjust death. The Mosha body was within the world ring. His body could be produced again even if it fell, and this was a new world ring. Even if it crumbled, it meant nothing. Open. Luo Feng gently opened it. The black briefcase opened and revealed 10 crystals, every one of them brimming with terrifying purple liquid, flowing about. Fei Mo poison, 10 vials, and every one with 100 drops of Fei Mo poison. His eyes gleamed. Fei Mo poison, just 1 drop was worth 300 million mixed elements. A powerful chemist from humanity, Fei Mo, had created this, hence the name. It was a powerful corrosive agent, specially used to corrode undying bodies. Normally 10 drops was enough to kill an emperor limit. As for 100 drops or 1 vial, was able to kill an invincible emperor like Tru Yang. Its power was terrifying. But its weakness was obvious. Firstly, it was a one-time use item and diminished easily. Secondly, it only works after making contact with the undying body. Most warriors all wear armors and the poison has no effect on armors. Hence, one has to tear through the armor and let it touch the enemy's skin. Or attacking a place that wasn't protected like the face. Also, it was a liquid that had to be carried by an agent, like rubbing it on a weapon and attacking after letting it dry. When the weapon slashes through the enemy, only a small portion of it may actually enter the body, dealing too little damage. Lastly, if 100 drops entered Tru Yang the first time around, with his strength, he would discover the poison destroying his body. He would instantly give up fighting and would start to focus on his undying energy to push the rest of the poison out. By then, only 1 or 2 drops would have probably succeeded while the others would be wasted. Hence, each attack usually did best with a little of the poison, acting before the enemy can drive it out. Although it had its weaknesses, it was not as pricey as other heavenly weapons. Like the Ka Suo dagger, it could be used over and over, piercing into an emperor limit would instantly kill him. Whether it was longevity or effectiveness, it far exceeded the Fei Mo poison. However, its price was absurd too. Luo Feng brandished a blood shadow blade. This was a newly ordered blade, using expensive G-grade metals, which were on par with the treasure room of the sacrificial tower. The Fei Mo poison was very weak on metals, and it had no way to corrode this new metal blade. Of course, this blade cost close to 100 million points. I've simulated it in the virtual universe over 1,000 times, nothing should go wrong. Luo Feng carefully coated the blade with the poison. The blade was fairly small in size, and it could at most have 50 drops of the poison on its surface. After a while, Luo Feng gripped his new blade and looked at it glow with purple light, smiling. From today on, this blade shall be called Poison Shadow Blade. A Blood Shadow Blade and a Poison Shadow Blade. I'll use the Blood Shadow Blade most of the time and only use the Poison Shadow Blade in critical moments. I have to be patient. The Golden Horned Beast has to train deities of the world and the Cloud Contact Vine has to evolve. I have to wait. His eyes gleamed. Purple Clock Emperor, it'll be soon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. 1 year later, in his internal world. Howl. The beast raised its head and let out an excited howl. It had finally depleted the large amount of resources that cost 110 billion, amplifying deities of the world to 16 times. Everything is going according to plan. Luo Feng stood on the grass. His eyes were filled with anticipation. Cloud Contact Vine. A beam of light flew over. It was the 256 Vines Cloud Contact Vine. Luo Feng had used 8 billion points to evolve it from 216 vines to 256, and its power rose from Pinnacle Official to Low Emperor. If he wanted to raise it more to 360 vines, High Emperor, that would require over 100 billion points with a success rate of less than 50%. If nurtured from young to have 360 vines, only about 10 billion points would have been required. It was obvious that upgrading a weak plant later on would cost tens to hundreds of times more than simply nurturing a strong one. The vine flew over like an octopus, instantly wrapping about Luo Feng and melding with his skin. Master. It communicated excitedly. Ha. Luo Feng smiled. This plant had been with him for so long, risking life and death with him. What was a few points? He would rather spend more points on this one than nurture a new one. The only thing was that he wasn't wealthy enough right now. Plus, with threats mounting, he hadn't reached the level of being able to spend over 100 billion mixed elements to gamble on something with less than 50% success rate. Space Lock Band. Luo Feng placed a water god crystal into its energy chamber. Silver Armor. A silver armor appeared, protecting the Cloud Contact armor and the arm band. Showu Wings. Silver wings opened on his back. It covered the original Sector Lord energy and powerful energy emanated about. The silver-winged and armored Luo Feng smiled, his eyes gleaming. Barbata. He ordered, send a mail immediately to all the Emperor friends I know on Yangji main continent, get their help to search for the automaton camp Chi Chang race Purple Clock Emperor. Yes. Barbata immediately sent bulk mails to get help. I wonder if they can find him. Barbata said. He was probably afraid of dealing with you when he spread that news earlier. He might have hidden himself. If I can't find him, I'll put a bounty of him. Luo Feng said softly. Just like how the automaton CIWKA had placed a bounty on Luo Feng back then, spending up to 10 million as a reward, it would make the warriors of the human camp search for Purple Clock madly. As the emperor friends of his searched for Purple Clock on Yangji continent, Luo Feng began his trip back from the camp to the continent. Several days later. Universe travel complete. A space ripple occurred at the travel point closest to the main continent and a black disk ship appeared. Within the ship, Luo Feng sat at the control room and frowned. We have so many emperors in the human camp, yet no one has found him. Luo Feng, when Purple Clock released your information before, he definitely guessed that you'd come looking for him. Hence, it's normal that he's hidden himself. Finding him won't be easy. A child head floated in the control room. There's no point waking up early if there's no benefit. Luo Feng laughed. I only got my emperor friends to help keep a lookout. They would at most look around, and there are only so few of them. How vast is the main continent? Back then, when I first came here, I didn't even meet another emperor for an extremely long time. For these emperors to find Purple Clock, it's hard enough. Without any rewards, they wouldn't even order their official underlings to help look. And even if they did so, the officials would only do the bare minimum, who would actually waste their energy. Luo Feng, you want to give a bounty? Barbata's eyes gleamed with excitement. Right, bounty. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. I've long seen through this. Regardless if it's us or the other races, warriors all own treasures and no one would risk their lives needlessly. For the strong to have treasures is normal, and no one else would risk the danger of fighting for that treasure. The weak having treasure is completely different. Many of them would come to snatch it away. I was very low profile in the past, and no one knew I had treasure. Hence, no one ever found trouble with me. However, after the sacrificial tower, with Purple Clock publicly announcing, I have no way to stay low profile anymore. Since that's so, then I have to display enough strength to scare off the others. The moment I make my move, it has to completely shock and scare off all of the other warriors. Luo Feng muttered, only that would be worth it. That's my aim for this time. To let them know the consequences of offending me. Asterisk 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 asterisk. That day, he sent out bounties to the countless warriors in the human camp on Yangji main continent. They were all shocked, because it wasn't a private offering, but rather a public bounty sent through the army system to all allies on Yangji main continent. And Luo Feng had already transferred the reward to the army system account. 50 million mixed elements. This bounty simply required one to just discover the location of Purple Clock. Once the coordinates are confirmed, that person would receive 50 million. Madness. This human Yang sure is mad. He's been hiding in the camp for so long, that the moment he appears, he puts a huge bounty of Purple Clock. 50 million, we officials usually at most only have 10 million in total. It takes countless years to even get that amount, and now all we have to do is discover this other emperor's location and we'd get such a huge sum. Madness. 50 million. This Yang sure is wealthy. Ha ha, this is getting interesting. All the other race warriors are watching him, and he still dares to put such a bounty on Purple Clock. Looks like he must be prepared, and the battle will be interesting. Who is Purple Clock? Yang is placing a bounty on Purple Clock. Looks like this Purple Clock must have been the one that revealed information about him. The entire Yangji continent was in an uproar. There were after all very few emperors, and most of them were officials and normal undyings. To them, the 50 million mixed elements was a huge sum, which was enough to make all of them go crazy. They wouldn't dare go fight with the other race emperors, but they still dared to occasionally eavesdrop and search about. The hunt for Purple Clock Emperor had started. Countless undyings from the human camp were madly searching about. Just like when the other race warriors were searching for Yang before, now it was the other way around. However, the human camp's search was much crazier. This was after all a public bounty. However, 1 day, 2 days, half a month, 1 month. There was no news of Purple Clock. What's up with him? Luo Feng had almost reached Yangji main continent in his ship. He frowned and muttered in the control room, "Not right, he let out news to force my hand, and he should be wanting me to reveal myself. Now that I've released a public bounty, he should have reacted. And the news of my bounty is huge, it should have reached him. He should know that I'm looking for him. But he's vanished. Did he leave the main continent?" Luo Feng shook his head. No, for Purple Clock to force him to reveal himself, it shouldn't be that simple. Luo Feng, I have a feeling that he's hiding to observe what happens. He will show himself sooner or later. Barbata said. According to the battles from the tower, he's extremely scheming. Unless there's no hope, he would never give up. Even against the Emperor Limit Gold Kang, he still dared to attack. Against you, he would definitely not be scared away. Luo Feng nodded. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Automaton Camp's virtual world, within an iron skyscraper, on a particular level's hall. Purple Clock sat casually eating food. Suddenly the door opened and 2 warriors entered. One of them was completely covered in fur with a single red eye, almost like an upright beast, and he gave off a wild energy. The other was a tall and skinny warrior, over 8 m tall in a silver robe and black mask. His mask had peculiar engravings. Purple Clock, you sure are relaxed, enjoying delicacies in the virtual world. Don't you know that countless undyings form the human camp are madly searching for you on the main continent? The tall and skinny man had a piercing voice as he said. The bounty on your head is 50 million. This is akin to our automaton camp's 100 million indigo gems. This is no small sum. The beast spoke, as his voice echoed with growls of a beast. Blood Beast Emperor. Heavy Arrow Emperor. He looked up and revealed a smile. Don't I have you too? 2 Emperor limits here, who would I fear on the main continent? Ha ha ha, the beast immediately let out a roaring laughter. Purple Clock, you are right. With us too, within the entire Yangji continent, none of the emperors are a threat at all. Ha ha. The tall masked man laughed lightly, his laughter was filled with confidence. Purple Clock continued, as for the 50 million bounty on me, it can only mean one thing, this human young is extremely wealthy. As long as we kill him, ha ha, I believe the rewards will definitely surprise you too. Both emperors nodded. Blood Beast Emperor, Heavy Arrow Emperor. The both of them were specially invited by Purple Clock. They were both Emperor limits in Star Tower. There were hardly any Emperor limits on Yangji continent. Only the most dangerous region of the area, Star Tower, had such warriors. They were both no weaker than Gold Kang. This time, Purple Clock had specially paid both 5 billion indigo gems along with 1/3 of the spoils to get them to assist him. They could get 1/3 of the human Yang's wealth. Blood Beast and Heavy Arrow would even get 5 billion upfront. Even if they knew that Yang wasn't one to mess with, they both still agreed. Shouldn't be messed with? It's because of that you invited 2 Emperor limits. Purple Clock is indeed generous. Looks like that human's wealth must be shocking too, he truly got the treasure from the sacrificial tower. Even 1/3 for us each would be a huge sum. This will be huge. High Emperor, even with his trump cards and warrior friends. Who would we have to fear? Both emperors had conversed secretly when they were invited, finally they both accepted. Purple Clock, Blood Beast and Heavy Arrow sat around the dining table and chatted while enjoying delicacies. Purple Clock, that human has placed such a huge bounty on you, when will you show yourself? Heavy Arrow said softly. I have to first let him think that I'm weak. He smiled. Let him think I'm afraid, ha ha. I'll first hide outside the continent, they have no way to find me. However, it's not long before I'll show myself. I'll suddenly appear and purposely let myself be discovered by the human camp, luring him into the trap. His eyes gleamed with ferocity, then I'll get you two to help. Two Emperor limits working together should be enough to crush him with overwhelming strength. The moment we make a move, we will completely leave him with no chance. Ha ha, thrilling. I respect your style. Blood Beast laughed loudly, his voice booming about, right, we can completely overwhelm him. I hate the long tiring fights, those are too troublesome. It's better to completely squash the enemy. Heavy Arrow nodded. You two should prepare outside the continent. Purple Clock laughed. The moment he enters my trap, I will immediately inform you two and you should teleport immediately. Relax. Blood Beast said. We'll both head to the space outside Yangji continent to await your call. Heavy Arrow said. Purple Clock smiled and toasted, I won't make you two wait long. Come, let us toast to acquiring the sacrificial tower treasure. Come, to the treasure. Blood Beast lifted his glass. To the dead human. Heavy Arrow Emperor lifted his glass. The glasses clinked. Luo Feng was awaiting Purple Clock's news when Tru Yang sent a mail to him, stating he was at Yuxiong Mountain waiting for him. Within Luo Feng's villa in Primal Region Yuxiong Mountain. The staff had already brewed a hot pot of tea. Tru Yang sniffed it before taking a sip. Teacher? Luo Feng walked in, you wanted to see me. Tru Yang put down his cup and smiled proudly, disciple, this tea from your home earth is not bad. It's comparable to the drinks from many other places, and the more I taste it the more I like it. I've added this tea to my collection, also its price is very reasonable. Since you like it, I will let my family prepare the latest brews and send it to you and the Primal Chaos City leader. Luo Feng said. Tea leaves were a business of the Ping Hai Company. The company had some foundation in Earth, naturally it would cultivate different types in different parts of the universe, studying new tea leaves and creating more flavors. In terms of quantity, naturally his family had the most. Ha ha, good. Tru Yang laughed. I'm here today because I heard your young identity has recently sold a great amount of expensive goods. And after checking, I learnt about the 7th Battlefield's Yangji continent and that the news of you acquiring the sacrificial tower treasure has spread. Is this true? Yes. Luo Feng nodded. His teacher naturally knew of his young identity. Tru Yang was shocked, his eyes gleamed, any trouble? Some. Luo Feng smiled, but I can handle it, don't worry. That's good, I know your personality. Since you can say so, I'm not worried at all. Tru Yang nodded and asked curiously, how much is the treasure worth? To create such a fuss. Hundreds of billions of mixed elements. Luo Feng didn't hide at all. Tru Yang stared shocked, hundreds of billions? You are not joking, right? For a place like Yangji to have treasure worth tens of billions is already not bad, how did it get so high? Luo Feng smiled. Ha ha, lucky fellow, I truly got a good disciple. Tru Yang laughed loudly, and his eyes pleased. Disciple, I'm very satisfied with your performance on Yangji continent. However, you cannot be proud, just because I'm satisfied doesn't mean your other teacher the city leader will be satisfied. His perspectives are much higher than mine. I understand. Luo Feng nodded. His city leader teacher stood at the pinnacle of trillions of races, and to satisfy him wasn't such an easy task. To the city leader, hundreds of billions of mixed elements wasn't even worth mentioning. As the #1 person of the virtual universe company, with his authority, he could easily check everything about Luo Feng in the outer region wars. Yet, he had never complimented Luo Feng on acquiring the treasure, maybe to him, it wasn't even worth saying. The only time he had truly complimented Luo Feng was when he created his pinnacle technique Moon Policy. Work hard. Since the Primal Chaos City leader has taken you in, you cannot relax at all. This position as the disciple was full of honor, and also full of pressure. All warriors would naturally expect your performance to far exceed other warriors. Only then would you be worthy of that title. Performing exceptionally is to be expected. If you don't reach that standard, you will be mocked. Tru Yang said. Yes, teacher. Luo Feng nodded. Just like how Purple Clock was shocked by Luo Feng's performance back in the tower. However, if he had only known that he was facing the disciple of the primal Chaos City leader, then, no matter how many trump cards Luo Feng took out, he wouldn't have been shocked. He would have considered it as absolutely normal. One had to know just what kind of being the city leader was. Luo Feng chatted with Tru Yang for a while. Tru Yang was proud of him and predicted that Luo Feng would become his most exceptional student. However, he was still worried within that he wouldn't be recognized by the primal Chaos City leader. Naturally, he paid close attention to his growth. He often came to reiterate this point. Hearing you say this purple clock sounds extremely scheming and evil, and he definitely has already set up a trap. Tru Yang nodded. To release such information, he definitely has a plan. He wouldn't hide from fear. I thought so too. Luo Feng nodded, but he still hasn't shown himself. Wait patiently. Tru Yang said. You must have patience. Even though your enemy sounds strong, I believe you can handle it. There were many in the universe that could actually reach the level of Emperor limit, however very few actually become invincible amongst Emperors and close to Knight level. Techniques, law comprehension, amplification techniques, treasures, mental state, none could be lacking. Tru Yang had experienced countless types of warriors and had vast experience. He easily saw through Purple Clock just from hearing about him. Be it his craftiness or scheming personality, he saw through it all. But he was clear that his disciple Luo Feng would be able to deal with it properly. Luo Feng may seem normal and average, but he was wise and understood his own strengths and weaknesses. Knowing when to stay low profile and when to unleash his full strength. Even in the face of death, he is able to make a calm decision. That was Luo Feng. Compared to Purple Clock, that was true wisdom, a seemingly low profile but terrifying enemy. Your weakness lies in your own strength being weak. Tru Yang said, don't get careless. I've already made preparations. Luo Feng nodded. Of course, the universe has too many mysterious things about. I do not dare proclaim absolute guarantee, but I at least have 90% confidence. Luo Feng, there's a call request along with a mail, both from the same number. Barbata said. Luo Feng gently tapped in mid-air and a screen appeared. He first received the call and opened the mail. On it was a black-armored tall and sturdy bull giant said, I've discovered the whereabouts of the Chechen warrior Purple Clock Emperor. His coordinates are. The mail had the same details. He's been found. Luo Feng immediately stood up. Very good, the moment it's confirmed, I will send the reward over. Luo Feng replied. Please rush over to the location. Once time passes, he might slip away. The bull giant said. The call was cut and Tru Yang smiled beside, Purple Clock has shown himself. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. This will be a life or death battle, even if you have the advantage, don't get careless. Tru Yang reminded him, go on, I'll be here awaiting your good news. Yes. Luo Feng smiled, after which he vanished from the virtual universe. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Yangji continent, within an ice cave. Purple Clock sat cross-legged alone on an ice rock. His large and mini scanners were only scanning, and their jamming abilities were deliberately shut off. Hence the lucky official level Undying from the human camp was able to discover him. Discovered me? An official level punk. He said softly, I'll rely on you to get Yang into my trap, consider yourself lucky. Purple Clock sensed the space ripples about. He was proficient in the space laws, and was able to teleport too. Hence, he was incredibly sensitive in being able to feel the space ripples. Spatial ripples, teleportation. His eyes gleamed, the human has fallen into my trap. About 1,000 kilometers away from him, the silver-winged and armored human appeared simultaneously with a black silhouette. Cha Wu Emperor, thanks. Luo Feng said. Look for me if you need such help again. The silhouette laughed before vanishing. I have to keep relying on Pinnacle Emperors since I cannot teleport. It's a pity, my law comprehension is far from it. Luo Feng shook his head and ordered, Barbata, have you found Purple Clock? Purple Clock is 3,201 kilometers away in that ice cave. He's sitting cross-legged on a rock, and even though his scanning device is activated, it's not jamming any signals. He's obviously waiting for you. Barbata communicated. I know he's got a plan. We both know it. Luo Feng laughed. We are both not stupid, since both are prepared, knowing both sides won't back down. This fight is unavoidable. He's obviously very confident, but I am confident too. When he falls, he will regret this. Barbata, since the report was accurate, send the reward to that lucky official. Luo Feng said. Yes. At different levels, the amount offered was different too. Barbata, we have to give Purple Clock a greeting. Luo Feng smiled. Alina, attack twice according to the plan earlier. Yes, master. The mother nest appeared beside him. Thousands of kilometers away in the cave, Purple Clock frowned. There were 2 consecutive ripples earlier. They were both teleportation, appearing and leaving. That should be a warrior bringing Yang over. Then he left alone. Since Yang is here, why hasn't there been any movement? Does he not dare to attack me? This video will end here.